I'd always wanted to build a giant parade puppet, just ask most of my friends. It's been on my bucket list for a while. Got involved with the Lincoln Square Theater about 1.5 years ago, and then this year we started talking about how 2016 is actually the 100th birthday of the Lincoln Square Theater. Sort of kicked the whole thing off. I thought, why not sort of use the Decatur Celebration to draw attention to it. I still have to make a party hat for him because that's part of the theme. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it, so I figured out any parts that I could scavenge out of my basement or from friends. I started off trying to figure out how to make the harness, how I could carry it on my body for 1.5 miles in the parade. And a friend of mine gave me an old leaf blower that he couldn't fix. So I took all the mechanism off of that, kept the harness and the straps, found a few other straps to other bags and satchels that were in my basement, and created that. Bought the PVC that I thought I was going to need based on the design that I drew up, attached the spine with bolts and figured out how I was going to attach the legs and then the arms, built some hips and some shoulders for him. Got the whole skeleton put together. Made it so that I could take it apart when I needed to. So the only piece that is a full one piece is that structure that it mounts to me, has his spine, hips, and shoulders. The legs come off, they're attached with cotter pins so that I could carry it around, move his arms and his legs. They attach to my ankles, and I hold the controllers for the arms with my hands. And there I am. Then, of course, I had to have a head. So I bought some giant balloons that inflate to like 3 feet, and inflated them to different sizes and taped them together, and that was the interior of my paper mache Lincoln head. Once that dried, I knew I was going to have to do multiple layers to give him some good solid strength, and then I started using foam to give him some 3D form, glued that on and covered that with paper mache, and then put a couple of coats of paint on him to reinforce that, and then I started painting all his features, the black and the skin tone, and the last thing I did was put the detail in the eyes. I found a couple of foam hands that I wrapped with masking tape to give them the same tone as the skin. I still have to paint some details on the foam hands. And I had a friend, Dinah Fryman, who was with Theater 7, sew together some stuff that I could use for his clothes. He looks kind of like Jack Skellington with these big, long, skinny arms and long, skinny legs and a great big head. And then I made a little shirt and a tie for him. So I'm hoping all that stuff will stay together when we march in the parade, and then we're supposed to be roving characters on Saturday and Sunday. So that's how we're kicking off this whole 100th birthday of the Lincoln Square Theater event, is with the parade and the roving character, and then everything is on from there.